Welcome back, everyone. It's been quite an interesting year, and we've done most of our interviews on Zoom. This one we could not do on Zoom, and you're going to find out why. You get to be my age, you get to be a parent, you get to be a grandparent, and sometimes you realize that what comes out of the mouth of younger people not only matches what you hear from adults, but in a lot of ways makes a heck of a lot more sense. I want to read you something from my guest. This is Tessa Carusone, by the way. And we're joined by Bethany Lawrence, too, who's the Executive Director of the World Awareness Children's Museum. But I need to read this, okay? I'm in the 5th grade, and I go to Glens Falls Middle School. I like how the World Awareness Children's Museum teaches kids of all ages about different cultures. Think about that for a second. My favorite exhibit is the Japanese tea room. Mine too, by the way. My favorite memory of visiting the museum is when I went to a summer camp called Mission Earth, because we learned about pollution and how to help out. So now I guess I just proved what I just said about what can come out of the mouth of somebody who we would think, well, he's a young person. I got news for you, that's pretty smart what you just said. So you entered a raffle. What was the raffle?
It was for Director for a Day.
Director for a Day for the World Awareness Children's Museum?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a pretty big job, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the director sitting right there. So why did you want to do that?
Because everyone, sometimes I just want to make a difference and to teach people that everyone, no matter what culture they're from, has, even though they're different, they still have similarities, and when you think about it, they're almost just like you are. So different cultures don't mean that also, I don't like stereotypes at all. So I would like to bust some of those.
Yes, that's wonderful. And you want to know something? If you start at your age, you'll make a difference.
Yay.
I'm telling you right now, you will. I love it. Bethany, tell us a bit about the raffle and about the being Director for a Day.
So this raffle was something we did last year for a fundraiser we held. During the pandemic, we were trying to think of new fun ways to engage the community. And we decided just to try Director for a Day and see if kids would even be interested in that. And thankfully, lots of kids were. And we hope to continue this raffle at future fundraisers. So when we do our fundraiser on June 13th, one of the raffle prizes will be Director for a Day. So I think this is going to be a nice yearly tradition to start introducing kids to how nonprofits work, why we do what we do, and why it's important.
Yes, absolutely. There's a couple of things here that come to mind. I'm thinking that, when you're a director, right, you have a lot of responsibility on two sides, because you have to kind of think up the things that are like around us right here. This particular exhibit that they're just finishing up right now, by the way, talks all about Thailand. The Japanese room that you talked about, we shot video last week there, which is right down the hallway. So, you have the responsibility of wanting to expose as many people as you can to all the cultures of the world, which is why you said what you said before. But then you have the other side. You got to be organized. You got to take care of business. Isn't that right? How do you balance that?
Oh, lots of deep breathing.
Yeah, right.
I have a really great team here, and we're all very collaborative. I don't pretend to know everything, and my team is really great. Everybody who works here is so good in their roles and very committed to our mission. So I just have a great team that helps me do everything here.
Well, I can attest to that because Jack and I have met everybody here, and what you said is really true. And it also feeds off of your awareness, by the way, which is very unique too. Hey, I want to talk about the summer camp, right? Mission Earth. I saw a documentary recently about someone a little bit older than you, but definitely not as old as I am, who went around the whole world trying to talk to people about climate change. Someone your age, why do you think that's important? And what would you like to see change?
I want to see change because if no one takes care of the earth, it will just become a humongous dumping ground, and it will basically be the end of humanity, and that would be terrible. Also, it would be terrible for endangered species and some not so endangered species that depend on them, because even though they're not the endangered species themselves, the way a food chain works is that if one animal goes extinct, a bunch of others will too, like dominoes.
That's right. Now, I know your dad, big fan of your dad, and I know that you like the water, you like the lakes. So when you think about that, just one thing came to my mind, like coral reefs. That's a perfect example of that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That what one species relies on is part of the ecosystem, and that ecosystem is what makes this world survive. So do you think adults understand that?
Some of them do, some of them don't, and think that climate change is just a scam.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think those people should start to see what's right in front of their noses.
I think you're right about that too. We can only hope, right? I know, because it's definitely not a hoax. So when you grow up, I think you're pretty grown up already, by the way, but when you grow up, what would you like to do?
I think it'd be cool if I could be a director or a writer or even someone who does these interviews, because all three of those things can change the world in very small ways. Like Harry Potter, that it teaches you about stuff like racism, because some people don't believe that the Muggles in Harry Potter, non-magical people, are as good as the magical people. So it teaches you about that whether you have magic or not, or whether you're black or white, you're still
Human being, right? Yeah, no,
There's actually a quote from Harry Potter I know. It's, every human life is worth the same and worth saving.
Well, that's a wonderful phrase. I know that phrase. My granddaughter told me that, by the way. She did. I honestly got the same age as you are, by the way. Oh, I forgot to mention this, by the way. We understand that we need to be socially distant, whatever. Both Bethany and I have been fully vaccinated. And it was Tessa's idea that she wanted to keep her mask on to keep herself safe. So and we respect that. I just want you to know that. Hey, you said something here. You said, I want to be a writer when I grow up because I could create entire worlds and characters out of 26 letters. I thought that was Instagram. I don't know anything. So you weren't talking about Instagram, were you?
I was talking about the alphabet.
Oh, the alphabet. Even the alphabet is something that we recognize, right? What do you think about that when you hear something like that?
I think that's very intelligent of you to say. And I like that you pointed out Harry Potter, because what you said before is really true. Writing can change the world and can help people change their minds or learn new things, or even just enjoy themselves. Writing is so important. So I think that's a very noble idea, and I hope that you continue writing.
I will. I'm
Good.
still writing a bunch of different stories. I just have to work on making up my own characters instead of making fan fictions.
Yeah, I think that's so great. Good job.
Well, you know what you just referred to is something called the creative curse. The creative curse means that you have to follow your passion. And if you follow your passion and you dedicate your life to following your passion, you will succeed. And that you will make a difference. And even though that sounds like somebody older giving a lecture, it's just happens to be true. Wouldn't you attest to that?
I do.
Yeah.
And I like what you said earlier, that just being in one of those 3 jobs you mentioned can make a small difference. And really that's all that any of us can hope for, is just to make the world a little bit better as much as we can, and a small difference from everybody, a small change from everybody goes a very long way.
So Tessa, what do you hope to learn today?
I hope to learn about, if I want to be a director, I want to be a good leader, and And I think this will help me teach how to be a good leader. Also, it'd be cool to learn how these jobs work and what goes into it, because otherwise you could just say I'm someone who thinks, hey, this would be cool. Like a bunch of people who say that they want to be movie stars when they grow up. There's nothing wrong with that, just some of them are just dreaming about it, and some of them are going to acting camps and Broadway dancing camps and working for it. I want to be one of the people who works for it instead of just dreams.
Very well said, by the way.
That's great, yeah.
Very well said.
Good,
And
yeah.
what do you plan for her today?
Well, we are working with Dr. Tuba, our founder, museum founder, and Dr. Jacqueline Tuba is going to show Tessa the artifacts collection and show her how to do some maintaining of the artifacts collection. And then Tessa will be talking with one of our educators, Rebecca, to learn about our education programs and how Rebecca teaches virtually and what does that even mean and how does that look. She'll be doing an interview with our marketing and communications coordinator, Shane, to talk to him about what you've been doing all day. He'll take some pictures of you, and we're just going to have an all-around fun day. Maybe do some crafts too.
What do you think of that?
That sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome, doesn't it? It sounds like a lot of work, though. I know everything that she just mentioned to you. I've met the people. Wait till you see the artifacts. You won't believe it. I'm telling you, they have treasures up there. And getting to understand them and getting to know more about cultures, it just builds respect for that. And that's really something. So at the end of the day, what do you hope for?
I hope for equality and people knowing that no matter what culture you're from, you're still a human being. No matter what your race, culture, beliefs, and even who you love, you're still a human being.
I have one more question before we go, okay? Wy говорите по-русски?
Нет, хорошо.
I had a feeling you were going to be able to answer that question. I really did. For those of you who want to know what's going on here, that was my feeble attempt at asking her if she speaks Russian, and her mother is Russian, and obviously she does.
I said not much.
Oh, not much. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of when I speak English. That's what happens when I speak English. So that's I can't tell you what an honor it is to meet you and talk to you. It's been really spectacular. Awesome, I think, as you say, right? Is that what you say? Thank you so much for taking the time. It's a real pleasure to talk to you. Bethany, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, and thank you for all the work you do at the World Awareness Children's Museum to get young people like her to say and feel what she just did. Right? That's really special. Okay, everybody. See this interview again. Of course, you can go to our website, lookmediaresource.org. It will be there, and it'll be on social media, and of course, on our television platform. Okay, we're going to sign off. Thank you very much.